Hello all, how's it going? This is Jen with Jen in the Morning, and I am so enthusiastic to be here today because our coven caught wind of a spell that's a very, very ancient sex spell that all of you can do on your own. You don't need us. We can teach you how to do this, and we're going to do this here. It's very simple. You might burn a candle, but you really don't need a candle. I would suggest you burn a little candle, however. And you can do this on your own, and it's awesome. It's a sex spell. It's a very ancient sex spell. Have you felt like you desire a man and you're a woman and you're wanting to have sex, well, basically sex with this guy, right? And you have seen my other video, right? My other video where I do the incantation, but with that incantation, you actually have to be in front of the guy, or the guy has to be physically near you. Now, folks, we're in pandemic times. Most of us meet on Zoom, right? So that little spell, guess what, cannot be done. So we found this amazing sex spell that both men can do on women and women can do on men. There's a drawback, unfortunately. I'm sorry for all of you who want to do this and are women and towards another woman and a man towards another man. You can try. I can give you the version that applies to you when the target is a woman, and I can give you the version that applies to you when the target is a male. But this spell was basically designed for heterosexual couple, but you can try it. You can try it. Also, another thing, this is a very ancient spell. It was actually found in those papyrus, Egyptian spells. This is like way before Christ. We're talking the ancient times when males and females would do spells to bring each other together. And so that's a very interesting and powerful spell. Try it out. What do you have to lose? I do want to know. I do want feedback about that. Not down here, because down here it gets a little weird, unfortunately. But do tell us. Come tell us. Let me know. I would love that. But remember one thing. When you do this spell, whether you are a man wanting to place the spell on a woman, or a woman wanting to place this spell on a man, you have to have the right mindset, because this is what I see a lot, even in our clients, even on the clients that order with us and that ask questions like they think about their spell all the time. You can't do, folks. You can't do that. You're gonna ruin your own spell. So I'm gonna tell you what you need to do. Before I do that, you know how some people have had an amazing time with me on Zoom? I cast the obsession spell in front of them, and we went over the chanting that was very powerful to some of them, and they enjoyed being with me. Now, tomorrow we're entering Wani Moon, and I'm gonna do the same thing. So come see me on Zoom. I am going to cast a curse with graveyard dirt on your enemy. So you can order this and say, Jen, I want this person to have bad things happening to them because they did this to me. This is a person that's bad. Jen, please take care of it. Do whatever you can. And we go on Zoom and I cast this in front of you. And so it's gonna be on my side in the next few days. It's gonna be a live curse. So you're gonna see how I cast this. Now, go back to our own little spell. How can you create the change that you want for a man or a woman to desire you? I see this a lot the state of mind of my clients have is, oh my God, I want this guy, I want this girl, I want this girl, I want this girl. And because the spell did this work? How many things can we say to her when we cast? How many things? How long does it take? When will this work? These are not questions that you have to care about. You're supposed to do the spell or order the spell or whatever you want to do, and then forget it. Go about your life. Just think about how amazing you are. If you keep fixating on your spell, it will not work. I can give you as many spells as you can handle, but if you keep saying, oh, I did this spell, and oh, let me see, let me check my phone. I did this spell so that this person would make contact with me, but geez, it's not happening yet. It's not happening yet. What's going on? What's going on? This isn't working. You're putting anxiety on your spell. That's not how it's done. You don't have to come to me or do it on your own if this is how you're going to do things, because that's not going to work. What I want you to do, breathe, relax, come back to your own body. Think about the target with the eyes of the target watching you. It's not you needing your target. It's the target needing you. When you are casting a spell, you're imagining your target wanting you, your target desiring you, like you're the most amazing man or the most amazing woman this target can have. And then you let it go. Doesn't matter when it happens. Doesn't matter however many things we've done in the temple or however many times you said the chant. When you let it go and you don't think about it. Zip. Otherwise, it's useless. And so, having said that, this spell that I'm going to give you is an Egyptian spell. It was found in the papyrus. It's actually all over. It was all over the news, and it's interesting that spells get all over the news. They usually don't, but this one did, because there's a lot of archaeologists and a lot of people that have worked to actually translate this spell. And how our priestess Erin, oh my God, our high priestess Erin. She is fixated with the Middle East. She's fixated with Turkey, United Arab countries, Iran, Iraq. You know, she collects spells from India. She collects spells from Africa. She's fixated with this thing. So she goes like, oh, Jen, I found an Egyptian sex spell. And I'm like, oh, we're going to talk to our clients. So we're going to tell them that they can do this. And so we actually are trying this on our own as well. So if this works for you, let us know. Now, as I said, this spell is a little different for males and for females. So I'm going to share the screen. And I'm going to tell you what the spell says if the target is a male. Bear with me. All right. So we've got two different spells. One is for him. There it is. All right. I hope you can all see this. This is not how it's done. Let me bring this down. Forget this thing. Oh, so. Okay, so this is, both of the spells are a summoning to the god Anubis, which was an ancient Egyptian god. And here is the actual chant. Now, this is if the target is a male. So the target in this one is a male, okay? And you have to necessarily be either a male that's attracted to that male or a female that's attracted to that male. This was written for a female that was attracted to a male. Now, I cannot say this on YouTube, but before you say this chant, you are supposed to draw. I cannot do this, but you are supposed to draw a male intimate part on a piece of paper and write the name of your target on it. And that's all I can say because, you know, YouTube is YouTube. So then I will light a candle to get into that meditative state. And I will say, Anubis, let's pretend that you are Jane Doe and that your target is John Doe. Now here you're going to say both your name as in third person, as if it wasn't you. Like I am Jane Doe, but I'm still gonna say Jane Doe in the spell, if that makes sense. Your target's name is John Doe, but it can be anybody. So name and last name of your target, name and last name of you. So the spell will go like this. Anubis, I summon here today to hunt everywhere for John Doe and overwhelm him with desire, and that John Doe is to face anxiety at midday, evening, and at all times until he has sex with a woman called Jane Doe. Don't say until he has sex with me. Just respect the nature of the spell. Until he has sex with a woman called Jane Doe, and that John Doe shall suffer the pangs of love sickness. He can't eat, he can't drink until he follows Jane Doe hopelessly. John Doe is to follow after Jane Doe's footsteps until John Doe's male parts, or you can use another word for it, unite with Jane Doe's female parts. And you draw an image of male part and put his name on it. Let me recap here. When you say the spell, you're saying the spell as if you were like a spellcaster, that it wasn't you. So you're gonna say both the target's name and your full name as if it wasn't you. No? So John Doe and Jane Doe. Even if Jane Doe is you, don't say until he comes and have sex with me. You're gonna say until he comes and have sex with Jane Doe. Does that make sense? Now, this is the male version. This is when the target is a male. Now, for her, it's a little more complicated. I don't know why, but it's for the female target, the caster, in this case you, needs to be in front of a bathtub full of water and perhaps a red candle, because there is actually an incantation there where you say burn her. Very nice. And you probably need to know her mom's name. I would do a modification here because I know a lot of people don't know their female desires mother's name. I mean, it's, you know, we live in a different world now that they did back then in the Egyptian times. But the incantation goes as follows. So you're going to be a male wanting to attract to you a female, and you're going to stand in front of the bathtub full of water, I'm assuming maybe before you take a bath, and you have a red candle in front of you burning, because in the case of the female target, you need it. And then you say, Anubis, I summon here to hunt everywhere for Jane Doe and overwhelm her with desire. I adjure you, earth and waters, by the demon who dwells on you, and I adjure the fortune of this bath, so that as you blaze and burn and flame, that's why you have the candle on, so burn her, Jane Doe, whom the mother of the woman targeted, I don't know, Janine Doe, bore until she comes to me. Holy names, inflame in this way and burn the heart of her until she falls in love with me. You can appreciate that the spell for a female target is very different than the one of the male target. there's probably an historical explanation here that in ancient Egypt, the woman was brought into marriage by her mother. That is probably why the spell says, bring me her, who is the daughter of this other woman. This other woman gave birth to her. So that's probably why the spell does this, whereas in the other part of the spell that we saw earlier, the target is a male. Females did not have a lot of agency back then in those times. So they had more freedoms in terms of sex, like ask for sex without any reward of love. Whereas in order for a male to get a female, he needed her mother to bring her to him, if that makes sense. Different times, folks. This is an ancient sex spell. I would say if you don't know the name of the mom of your target, you can do the math, light the red candle, and then you say, Anubis, I summon you today to haunt everywhere for Jane Doe and overwhelm her with desire. I adjure you, earth and waters, by the demon who dwells on you, and I adjure the fortune of this bath, so that as you blaze and burn and flame, so burn her, Jane Doe, forget about the other part, until she comes to me. Holy names, inflame in this way and burn the heart of her until she falls in love with me. So if you know the name of her mom, you can say the whole incantation. If you do not know the name of her mom, you just skip the mom's part and you go directly to until she comes to me. I am very curious. I'm going to stop the sharing here. I am very curious to know how this goes for you. And remember, tomorrow is waning moon. Tomorrow the moon will start decreasing in size. It's very good for cursing, for placing curses upon your enemy. And I'm going to have my staff put out a special curse that I will do live one-on-one with you. And that way you can also ask questions and tell me more about this enemy of yours. This is Jen with Jenny Demonic, and yes, I promise you, we're gonna do clonic demonology next time. I promise you. No more delays. But I really needed to tell you this because, well, tonight is full moon. If some of you watches this, you can do that tonight and see how that goes. I would say because you're not so experienced casters, probably try this for like 7 nights. Chant this for at least 3 times, each time for 7 nights. See if it brings you anything, let me know. And we're gonna do it too. I'm curious to see if it does anything to us as well. And in the meantime, I will say that I have to go and I will talk to you soon. You all stay safe and we'll talk soon. Bye.